welcome all of you to the Hope Recovery Community ribbon cutting for their expansion project. And you know, when they first moved in here, we welcomed them into the community and did a ribbon cutting for them. So it's really exciting to see the services grow in the city of Medina. The property is owned by the Medina County Adam Board, so we want to thank them for their investment in this community resource. I'm Kimberly Marshall. I work for the City of Medina. I'm Economic Development Director, and the ribbon cuttings are brought to you in conjunction with Main Street Medina. We have George Sam here, and the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce. Where's Jacqueline and Steph? Jacqueline. Tag teaming me way in the back. So these are our partnering organizations that the city works with for business expansion, business attraction, and business retention efforts. And you can thank the Chamber of Commerce for the gorgeous weather that we're having today. That's right. And they bring the scissors and the big ribbon, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But we do have several elected officials with us today. And so I'm not going to take up too much time. We're going to keep this moving. I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to our mayor, Dennis Hanwell.
So good morning, everybody. I'm honored to be here with you, and I actually represent this morning not only the city, but I serve on the Adam Board, have for almost 12 years now, and recovery and treatment is alive and well in Medina County. Thanks to many of you in this room, thanks to the collaboration with the city, the county, and the Adam Board. We've done great things in the last decade here in Medina County. Also from the city of Medina, well, not technically with the city of Medina, but the Greater Medina, Northern Medina County is Judge Gary Warner from the Municipal Court. Andrew is our Community Development Director. Chief Kinney is in the back there next to Judge Warner. Sheriff Terry Grice is here. He serves on the Adam Board with me. And also two of our council members, Council at Large Paul Rose and Ward 2 Councilman Denny Simpson. And we're always thankful and appreciative. We do these ribbon cuttings along with Main Street and the Chamber, but also collaboratively with our county and state officials. Sometimes the state elected officials can attend, sometimes they can't, but most times they'll send proclamations or recognition at least, and we'll get to that here shortly. So first I'd like to invite up Philip and Stephanie and present the City of Medina proclamation. To you both. So she'll get a picture here at the very end. So this is City of Medina proclamation in recognition of the ribbon cutting of Hope Recovery Community. Whereas Hope Recovery Community is celebrating its expansion with a ribbon cutting in Medina on Friday, May 12, 2023. Whereas opened in 2019, Hope Recovery Community is dedicated to increasing sustained recovery by providing hope, support, advocacy, and resources to those impacted by addiction. And whereas with this expansion, Hope Recovery Community will continue to contribute to the local quality of life through healing, hope, and transformative power of recovery in the city of Medina and beyond. Whereas the city of Medina is honored to officially welcome Hope Recovery Community to their newly expanded facility in Medina, and grateful that they have chosen to expand here. We look forward to the great things that Hope Recovery Community will continue to accomplish in the future. And now, therefore, on behalf of the Medina City Council, I, Dennis Hanwell, Mayor of the City of Medina, hereby recognize Hope Recovery Community on its ribbon cutting and offer sincere best wishes for many years of continued success. And I present this to you on behalf of the city. But way, the expansion of the recovery services is not only in the city, it's actually in the county, including the cities of Brunswick and Wadsworth. And joining us this morning is Mayor Ron Falcone from the city of Brunswick. Sir?
Stephanie should put together the book too. You know, I'm just up the street here up in Brunswick, and once again, wanted to thank all of you for inviting the city of Brunswick here to this grand opening. And I know that the Hope Recovery community, as well as Adams Ward, play a very important role here in our community, and the people of Brunswick recognize that. Okay, so I have a proclamation on behalf of the office of mayor. Whereas Hope Recovery Community will have its grand opening on May 12, 2023. Whereas Hope Recovery Community is a recovery community organization located in Medina, Ohio. And whereas a recovery community organization is an independent, nonprofit organization led and governed by the recovery community. And whereas the recovery community organizations organize recovery-focused policy advocacy activities, carry out recovery-focused community education and outreach programs, and provide peer-based recovery support services. And whereas Hope Recovery Community is dedicated to increasing sustained recovery by providing hope, support, advocacy, and resources to those impacted by addiction. Now therefore I, Ron Falcone, the 12th mayor of the city of Brunswick, on behalf of the city council and the 35,000 people of the city, do hereby commend Hope Recovery Community for its efforts in providing support and programs to those who are recovering from addiction. Thanks.
So I didn't follow my script again. Barbara is here taking still photos. She's with the city of Medina also, and we'll provide all of those to the Hope Recovery for marketing or whatever you like. And Jared Fry is the subject with the video camera, who works for the city as well, and we'll provide the whole video of this entire event and when we move outside for the ribbon cutting. And I always like to thank Sarah for coming from the Gazette. It's always nice to have the media here, and it's free publicity for you and the ad. Next, I would like to introduce, we have two of our three county commissioners, Aaron Harrison and Steve Hamilton. Matt.
Thank you, Mayor. We don't actually have a proclamation to read, but we are going to invite both of you back up here. But this is a great day for collaboration. It is county, city, and nonprofit. So when those things can come together, and for something as important as recovery and enhancing our community values, we really appreciate that. Appreciate all the great work that's being done in the county. So in light of that, we have a certificate of congratulations in celebration of the ribbon cutting for the expansion of your recovery community organization in Medina County. My pleasure to present that.
You want to give him a better name?
You didn't know this was so complicated. Next, I'd like to introduce Ray Coletta. He's our community liaison and constituent services representative for U.S. Congressman Max Miller. Sir?
On behalf of the United States Congressman Max Miller, we just want to thank Hope Recovery Community for their continued commitment, not just to the city of Medina, but to Medina County. And we want to congratulate you on your expansion and ribbon cutting today. So we also have a certificate from the Congressman. So.
Thank you.
And last but not least, the elected officials and or their representatives weren't able to attend, but we do have accommodations from State Senator Mark Romanchuk, State Representative Sharon Ray, Secretary of State Frank LaRose, and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance. Okay. Okay. We're still waiting on the mail. Okay. So this first one is from the Ohio Senate. On behalf of Senator Mark Romanchuk. And last but not least, from the United States Senate, Senator J.D. Vance. So now I'd like to introduce for comments the Adam Board Executive Director Philip Titterington, and then Stephanie.
Boy, thank you for coming. Now, it's interesting that we're inside, because my first thing was to thank God for the weather. So we're going to enjoy that. I mean, we were very much praying for good weather there. But I do want to thank, I have several of my bosses, Adam Board board members. If you could you raise your hand? So if you take a look around the room, you think sometimes you have a bad, these are all my bosses. But truly, they are good bosses. That's the next thing, right? Because of their support, things like this get done. So I do thank you and allowing us for my staff as well. I have my staff. Could you raise your hands here as well? As anybody who's involved with capital projects and projects such as this, it's at the end it looks great, but to get there, it's a challenge. So I do appreciate all their patience and dealing with me, running around as well. So without them, once again, this couldn't be possible. I also want to thank the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. Without them, this is impossible. We did receive a nice capital grant. So they once again put the support. They understood what we needed as a priority here in Medina County. And they allowed us to secure some funding that helped not only this expansion, but in the beginning as well. So I want to thank them publicly as well. I see TC Architects is here. They've been our partners. What you see here is really a brainchild of Bob and his team putting it together, and listening to all of our ideas, and we thank you for that and your patience. Hummel Construction, they're the ones that we appreciate, and they built this, right? And all their patience as well. It's never easy, is it? Never easy. But also, I want to thank the residents of Medina County who supported the Human Services Levy. Without that levy, this is not possible. It really isn't. All of you for coming out, for showing your support, and of course, not least, the recovery community. I mean, we built the space, you use the space. We add more space, you fill the space. You're outside of the space. You saw Mayor Falcone from Brunswick. You're in Brunswick. You're in Wadsworth. You're expanding. You've used the space, and you used it very well. And you are the most appreciative of what you get and what you give. And we hope that what we're able to provide helps you in your journey. It helps others understand, reduce stigma, provide support, caring, and this is really a great county for that. We hear it wherever we go. We're a model for what we do. And it's because of all of you in this room, whether you're an official, whether you're in recovery, whether you're a family member, whether you're a staff member, what have you. So really, this is all possible because of you, and I thank you for that.
Thank you so much for coming. I'd like to start with the recovery community. If you're willing, can you please raise your hand if you're in recovery? Look around, people. Medina Recovery is live. but you're not sure. But in Medina, it is true. Since we've added this addition that you're sitting in and downstairs, we've increased our daily visits by 10, right? And so that's over 3,000 additional people per year that are coming here. So we have more and more people, we have more and more groups, we're able to do more, so we're really grateful, first and foremost, to Medina County Adam Board. 4 years ago, we had some bright ideas, but we were like, I don't know how this is gonna go, right? And the Adam Board really invested in us, you invested in me, and you invested in recovery. You believed in recovery. And from that, it started with just Medina, and then we went to Brunswick, and then we went to Wadsworth. And then one day I shared a dream with Philip about a farm, right? And then Nate happens to call Tiffany from the Adam Board the next day, and all of a sudden we have a farm that is run by people in recovery that is going to grow food, that is going to battle the local food insecurities here in Medina County. It all started with believing in recovery. Because recovery is possible, recovery is happening, people just need to have access to it. Seeking help should not be harmful. And Medina County is doing a very good job. Mayor, well done. Because it wasn't always like this. We've come very far here, and now Philip is right. People from around the state and around the country are like calling, and they're like, what are you doing? Because we want to do that, and we're like, let us share, replicate, because we need to build recovery-friendly communities. So I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful to the On Board. I'm grateful to my board. If you're on my board, please raise your hand. Because y'all hang with me, yes. And my board is run by people in recovery and family members and allies. And we have marched, intensely. And this doesn't happen alone. I'm thankful to my advisory council. If you're on the advisory council, raise your hand. If you're on the staff, raise your hand. So it is amazing. So I'm really grateful. Also grateful to my family. I see John and Jacob over there. Piper, who knows where she is, probably getting in trouble. But if you're in nonprofit, your family dedicates their life to the journey too. It's a commitment to the mission. And we decided that John would be an executive director as well, so that's fun. But our kids have grown up in nonprofit. And I just want to thank Medina County because this is becoming a place where we can be authentically ourselves, right? And we can be true and we can be honest. If we have mental health or we have substance use disorder related issues, it's okay. This is becoming a safe community. And selfishly, a lot of this work was done for my kids. That they could grow up in a place where they could talk about their issues and there was access to help and we were all this big community and like this big family. And we're doing this, Medina, and I'm really grateful. So thank you very much.
Wow, you're inspiring. Okay, so we are ready to cut the ribbon. I'm assuming we're going out.